Anti-ICE protest escalating outside Chicago overnight, with demonstrators facing off against agents again and even trying to block federal vehicles. Some Democrat officials in the area joining protesters. Watch this.
I'm back at the Broadview ICE facility where, in part of a protest just a few minutes ago, not only did they come with weapons and violent show of force and drive a van into us, but then they tear gassed us. And I have to tell you, it was terrifying. It was impossible to breathe and really, really scary. But the point is, they are trying to intimidate us, to stop us from standing up and being a part of a nonviolent resistance. And we will not be intimidated.
Here to react, former ICE Director Jonathan Fahey. Jonathan, that, to be clear, so our viewers understand, that was the mayor of Evanston out there essentially leading this protest against ICE carrying out lawful federal immigration law enforcement.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. And if you think about, the Charlie Kirk and going back to some of your last segments, I was thinking maybe the Democrats would at least take a break from their violence and their opposition to ICE and trying to obstruct ICE and doing their lawful jobs, maybe for at least a week. But it seems like they're doubling down on this. And this idea, it's a standard practice for Democratic politicians to rise in the ranks as they have to get arrested by ICE or something like that. But again, your point is really good, is ICE is doing their job. They are actually required to do this. Donald Trump is required to do this. And if J.D. Pritzker was actually a leader, he'd stand up for the men and women of law enforcement. He'd stand up for public safety. But he knows basically the path to success in the Democratic Party is with those 58 members of Congress that voted against the Charlie Kirk resolution. The far left is his ticket to rise. So he is doubling down on this. And instead of being a leader, he is putting politics ahead of public safety. And it really is shameful, because people are in danger. These agents are in danger just simply doing their job because of these, I want to say antics, but it's far more serious what these Democrat politicians are not only doing, but encouraging.
And it's stunning that Democrats are trying to essentially defend Jonathan. I was with ICE in Chicago on day one of this midway blitz, and we apprehended, and one of the individuals was convicted last year of the forcible sexual assault of a child under 13. And the American people see this. President Trump, to broaden this a little bit, ran on a mandate to do three things: shut down the border, remove the heinous, violent, criminal, illegal aliens, and also rescue the some 300,000 unaccompanied children that the Biden administration lost. And those are goals that they continue to do. It's not getting a lot of play, but we just got yesterday, Jonathan, the latest border numbers for August. And yet again, there are stunning numbers, starting with this: 0 parole releases for 4 straight months. We had hundreds of thousands being released under the Biden administration, 93% reduction in nationwide encounters compared to the peak of the Biden administration. The number, by the way, was just over 26,000. It was over 370,000 in the peak of the Biden years. You also see 96% reduction in the southwest border apprehensions compared to monthly average during the Biden administration. The entire month of August equated to 1 or 2 days under the Biden administration. And then, of course, the seizure of fentanyl, 755 pounds, and then 171 billion collected from tariffs, taxes, and fees, which Democrats don't want to talk about. Your reaction?
These numbers are pretty amazing, and it shows a couple things. One, this narrative that this was an overly complicated problem that needed this massive legislative solution to solve really wasn't true. We need more money to keep solving it, but we didn't need all of these other things that the Democrats were pushing. But also shows a couple things. The what's going on in Chicago and the interior enforcement is very effective in deterring people from wanting to come to the United States. Because remember, under the Biden administration, we essentially had de facto amnesty. Once you set foot on American soil, you'd get a phone, and then essentially you were never getting kicked out. And that was the policy of the United States. So now they know if they manage to get here, they're getting kicked out. And the fentanyl thing is really important, because 101,000 people a year died of fentanyl overdoses and overall drug overdoses under the Biden administration. Watch that number at the end of this year, and that will show the success of this, but we're also going to save lives. And that's the most important part of this all, is saving people's lives. And President Trump is off to an amazing start doing that.
You're spot on, Jonathan. It's all about safety, and the American people are behind that 100%. Jonathan Fahey, thank you very much. Thanks for getting up on a Saturday.
Thank you.